Connectra creates opportunities for people living with disabilities by providing information, resources, and programming geared towards greater inclusion and quality of life. Check out some of the programs we offer through our online learning platform, Connect Together, including our Service Mondays, where we highlight a local organization or initiative, Wednesday Chair Yoga with Bobbie Seale-Cobiskey, Thursday Adapted Fitness with Megan Williamson, Friday Rotating Dance Classes hosted by Janice Lawrence and Joanne Cuff, and other initiatives including presentations by the Disabled Independent Gardeners Association's Growable program and our Perspective series. Check out our updated programs calendar on our website, connectra.org, or find us on Facebook at Connectra Society.
Okay, Bobbie, you can start.
Okay. Thank you, Kausar. So I'll go ahead and put myself on gallery view now. Oh, hello, everyone. So I'll give that another try. There you go. So good afternoon, everyone. And those of you who are joining me live today, and those of you who are out there somewhere in the world. So very exciting times, it feels to me, and so for a while now, that particularly since COVID, that the adapted yoga community, which I consider an authentic community of loving individuals, and the population is growing like globally. So wherever you're tuning in from, near or far, welcome. And so as always, an invitation to begin a yoga practice, whether you're choosing to do it seated, lying down, standing. The invitation is to begin in a way where you're feeling comfortable. And so today's class, of course, is seated. And so I'd like to invite you to find a comfortable sitting position. So it can be challenging for our nervous system to calm down if we're uncomfortable in our bodies. And then when you're ready, you lift your shoulders up, back and down. Soft, organic movements, nothing rigid. And then when you're ready, an invitation to take your hands to your chest, your heart center. So it might be palms open or palms together. If this placement of your hands makes you lose your balance, choose another placement for your hands. We never forfeit balance to come into a pose or movement. And so as ready, lift your heart, bow your head to your heart. And an invitation to take a moment to allow yourself to consciously enter into the present. So setting aside whatever concerns, worries you may have had before the yoga practice, for the duration, knowing that you can come back to that after class. And then when you're ready, relax your arms on your lap or down by your side, wherever feels most comfortable for you. And then shake your hands. So waving. And so reaching up a little higher if that feels comfortable for you. And so if you have a heart condition, I'd like to invite you to keep your hands a bit lower. I'm going to raise mine fairly high. Make sure everybody can see my hands. And so reaching up a little higher if that feels okay for you. And let's imagine, if you'd like, that we're waving to our ancestors. And so past, present, and future. And then coming forward a little wave into our ancestors. And then reaching up one more time if you'd like and it's available to you. And then just like you're shaking water off your hands, let your arms go down by your side. Whew. And one more time, how about reaching up as high as feels comfortable for you. And this time on your exhales, you release your arms down, make an audible sound, like your first yawn or oh. So it's yoga time. And so I'd like to invite you now to repose. So if possible, I'd like you to find a space where you are supporting your own spine. Come away from the back of the chair now so that you feel you're sitting forward on your sits bones. If you would like support for your back today, there are a few options. So if you happen to have a yoga mat, rolling it up, placing it along your spine can feel amazing for some folks. If you're in a wheelchair, or if you're a wheelchair user, it's likely that your chair is set up just, wonderfully for you. And so yoga meets us exactly where we are. And so let's lift our shoulders up and down. Relax your arms in your lap or by your side, wherever feels most comfortable for you. And then an invitation to ground through your sits bones. Maybe notice where your bum and your thighs are in contact with your seat. So you can do a little bum dance. You move the buttock flesh away from your sits bones. And so our spine is long, so lengthen the spine. Again, shoulders up, back and down. Relax your hands in your lap, palm up or down as desired. Maybe even taking a moment to notice which feels better for you. Resting your palms face up, or does it feel better to rest your palms face down? So if you're feeling restless, an invitation to explore resting your palms face down. So palms face down can encourage a grounding sensation. If you're feeling fatigue, palms face up, open to receive. And so if you'd like an invitation to close your eyes here. Allow your facial muscles to soften and release. Attention moves inward. So notice the alignment of your knees, hips, ankles, shoulders over hips. Notice the breath. So allowing your breath to move the abdomen if you'd like, and it's available to you. Place one hand on your belly. And so on inhale, belly moves out. On exhale, belly moves in. Keeping one hand on your belly, take your other hand to your chest, to your heart center. And notice the pattern of movement between your abdomen and your upper torso.
Thank you so much.
And then see if you can begin to expand the breath. Making it just a little bit longer than it was when we began. And paying particular attention to the exhale. See if you can lengthen the exhale. When we lengthen our exhale, it engages the relaxation response, allowing us to let go of holding, stress, and tension. So I'd like to encourage you, whenever possible, to bring your awareness back to this deep, long, easeful breath. And so when you're ready, resting your hands on your lap or wherever feels comfortable for you. And so take a moment and then bring your hands together, rub your palms. And so, or actually, let's slow it down a little bit. Maybe give your hands a nice massage, your wrist. And then maybe sweeping your hands up along our arms. Okay, so our hands are not only connected to our heart, but to our mind as well. And then maybe giving yourself an I love me bear hug. And release. And we'll shake up. Okay. So again, let's repose. So ground through your feet. Center and ground through the soles of your feet. And so we want to keep our connection with Mother Earth. We tend to start losing that. And so if you're blessed with a yoga buddy, if to do your practice today, the yoga buddy could place their hands on your ankles to help ground a little bit. And so that's an option. And so ground through your feet, center and ground through the soles of your feet. Our sits bones are sharp on the chair. Lengthen your spine, so creating space between the vertebrae. Lift your shoulders up, back and down. Relax your arms wherever feels most comfortable for you. And from here, I'd like to come into a practice for our eyes. And so, warming up, sitting up tall, I'd like to invite you to move your eyes so you're looking up. Your eyes meet where the ceiling meets the wall. You're looking up to the sky, skywards, and then looking downwards, down towards the earth, down towards the floor. And so looking up towards the sky and looking down towards the earth. And now if you'd like to add gentle neck movements to the eye movements. And so gentle movements, maybe your eyes meet where the ceiling meets the wall. And so an invitation to keep this gentle movement flowing in your own time and rhythm. And then it's ready, bring your head back to center. And then take one ear towards your shoulder. And then moving your head back and forth. So from side to side. And as ready, bring your head back to center and then turn a soft gaze, looking just past your shoulder. So moving just as far as feels comfortable for you. And then turning your head from side to side as if nodding no. As ready, bring your head back to center. And so we've moved our neck through its range. Now we're going to continue moving down along the spine. So we'll come into a movement called cat and cow. So always beginning sitting up nice and tall, grounded through your feet. An invitation to draw your chest in. So warming up our thoracic area of our spine. So chest moves in. It's as if the sternum is moving towards the back of the ribs. And then move your sternum forward and up. And so you might notice that as we lift, shoulders back and down, that our hands naturally have a tendency to slide in towards our hips. And then as we round, hands tend to slide towards our knees. And so in your own time and rhythm, I'd like to invite you to keep this gentle warm up for your spine flowing. And if for whatever reason, sliding your hands, if you're super duper sensitive, sliding your hands doesn't feel good along your thighs, an invitation to explore moving energetically. So it might be that your hands just hover above your thighs. And so when you're ready, come on back to a neutral spine. Relax your arms by your side or wherever feels most comfortable for you. And take a moment, let your breath settle. And so from here, let's come into a side bend. So we're going to move side to side. So I'd like to invite you to reach one hand down towards the earth or towards the floor as if you're reaching to pick something up. Make sure, keeping both sits bones on the chair. You can hold on to the other side of the chair if you'd like. And so if it works for you, imagine that you're seated between two panes of glass. So you want our shoulder lined up with shoulder and then move from side to side. And so it might feel natural to inhale to one side, exhale to the other side. And if you're congested, breathe in whatever way you can. And you might find that as we lubricate our spine, the movements become more easeful. We're able to go a little deeper. And slowly come on back to a neutral spine. Take a moment. And from here, we'll come into a gentle twist. So I sometimes like to place my hands at the base of my spine for this movement. So we'll inhale, lengthen the spine, and then twisting from the base of your spine, moving up one vertebrae at a time. Going into your twist so that hand slides in towards your head turns last. And then twisting gently from side to side. So this is a gentle twist. We're not going to our full range of motion. So move in a way that feels natural for you. So natural that your movements and your breath become one. And slowly come on back to your neutral spine. Relax your arms by your side or on your lap, maybe do a little shaking. And then take a moment, I'd like you to notice the effects of those movements of the spine. Notice how's your breath? Is it still long and smooth and easeful? So from here, with your hands resting on your lap, an invitation to tap your fingers. And I'm just curious, for those of you who are live, can you see my hands? Can you give me a thumbs up? No. So I'm going to bring my iPad down a little bit, hopefully, to adjust things. So I'm in a space that I'm not quite accustomed to yet. So essentially we're tapping our fingers on our lap. And then if you want to like to make it a little more challenging, you can explore moving from your pinkies to your thumbs. And then maybe thumbs to pinkies. And how about an air piano? Some serious piano players in the class today. I'm not sure, those of you who are live online, can you see each other or it's just me seeing you? Oh, okay. Some serious air piano players there. And then when you're ready, an invitation to roll your wrists in one direction. Roll your wrists in the opposite direction. So if you notice that your mind gets distracted and wants to wander off, know that that's the nature of our mind. And if you noticed, good for you. And so in a loving way, compassionate way, bring your awareness back to your breath. And then slow the movements right down. Maybe even looking at your hands in appreciation. And then imagine that you are moving your hands through water. And then if you like, push your hands away. So your arms can be as high or low as you like. And then draw your hands back. Push your hands away. Draw your hands back. And so with this gentle movement, not only are we getting into all the joints in our arms, but we're also getting into those muscles around our shoulder blades. So it's like we're giving ourselves a little massage. Push your hands away. Draw your hands back. And now when you're ready, release your arms by your sides. Spiral your palms open. Open up your armpits. Spiral your palms down. So I'd like you to notice which feels better for you. Palms face up or palms face down. And then as ready, bend your elbows. Palms face away and release. So 3 more times. Spiral your palms open. Bend your elbows. Palms face away and release. Spiral your palms open. Bend your elbows. Palms face away and release. So I think that was 3 more times. So arms by your side, cross one arm over the other, take hold of your shoulders, walk your fingertips back a little. So if taking hold of your shoulders feels like too much, just hold on to your elbow points. And then when you're ready, allow your shoulders to round towards your front body. Let your chin drop towards your chest. So this is an instance where it's okay to let your shoulders round. And this is it can feel like a bear hug, an I love me bear hug. And then as you're ready, on inhale, if linking your breath with your movement works, extend your arms up and away. And remembering which arm was on top, I want you to cross the opposite arm over. We're taking your elbow points, drop your chin towards your chest, let your shoulders round towards your front body. And this is bear hug number 2. I love me. And because I love me, I can love all of you. So let's imagine as we extend our arms out to the side that we're sending everyone a big bear hug, near and far. And then palms face down, release. And a little shake. So wiggly fidgets. Notice how you feel. How's your breath? Notice any subtle sensations. Trust that the sensations are there. It's not going to be a rocket ship across the sky. So can you name the sensation? Is it energy? Maybe fatigue? Or you might be feeling, maybe you feel a hum, an energy moving along your spine that you didn't feel at the beginning of the class. And so no judgment. Yoga meets us right where we are. And so moving on, we'll shake out again. So if you need to leave the space for any reason to take care of yourself, of course, please do. Obviously, we're not going to be disturbing anyone. Feel free to come back or not. Cameras on or off, totally your call. Yeah, so often we'll suggest that we not resist any urges. So sometimes because we're maybe moving into places we've forgotten we have places, emotions can come up. And so I always like to share, maybe laughter, smiling, tears, could be tears of joy or maybe grief. And so all is welcome here, all of you. And so if you experience pain, I'd like you to notice, so that's a huge topic. And so maybe an opportunity to take a moment to explore, to ask yourself, is the pain that you're feeling in your joints, or is it in the tissue, the muscle around your joints? So if you're feeling pain in your joints, that's a no-fly zone. So I'd like you to come out of the pose of the movement, come back to your breath. So either skip the movement or an invitation to maybe explore visualizing the movement. So that might be a really good start. And so moving on, let's repose. So ground through your feet. So maybe push down through one foot, then push down through the opposite foot. You notice, can you feel one foot more than the other? Our spine is long. Lift your shoulders up, back and down. Chin in, parallel to the floor. So chin in slightly, parallel to the floor. So if it's helpful, bring a finger or two to your chin. Imagine a turtle. And then from here, let's come into movement. So I'd like you to imagine, well, first of all, I'd like you to begin exploring moving your arms in ways you don't typically move. And so now we're moving towards getting into the deeper tissue in our body, the connective tissue, so fascia. And so I'd like you to imagine that your arms are like seaweed, if that works for you, at the bottom of the ocean. And the seaweed is making its way up towards the light. So stretch into the stretch. Get bigger in space. We tend to shrink. And so it can be interesting to close our eyes as we practice these gentle movements, or soften your gaze. And then bring a gentle awareness to where your body's talking to you. And then I'd love for you to send your breath to that area. So our breath, of course, is part of our life force. We send our breath to that area. And then moving on, maybe noticing where in your body it feels like there's not so much energy moving through. So all the more reason to send our life force, our breath. So wherever our thoughts go, wherever our breath goes, energy flows. And then it's ready, wherever your body's still talking to you, pause there for a moment if you'd like. And then slowly come back to stillness. And then rest your arms wherever feels comfortable for you. And let your breath come back to its natural rhythm. And so your natural rhythm. So we all have our own rhythm. Maybe noticing the rise and fall of your chest and your belly. And notice any subtle sensations. All right, so moving on. Let's repose. You can ground through your feet, center and ground through the soles of your feet. Sits bones are sharp on the chair. Lengthen your spine, lift your shoulders up, back and down. Chin in, parallel to the floor. And so from here, let's come into a gentle chest opener. And so this, in a way, is like a meditation on the heart. And so I'd like to invite you to bring your hands to your heart center. So it might be your chest, your palms open or palms in prayer. If this placement of your hands makes you lose your balance, choose another placement for your hands. So it might feel better to have your hands on your Buddha belly. And so it's ready. Extend your arms up and away. And so I feel good with my arms just a little lower than my shoulders. Maybe you feel better with yours up higher or lower. And then making soft fists, take your hands back to your heart center or to your Buddha belly. And so inhale, extend your arms up and away. And making soft fists, take your hands back. Bowing your head towards your heart, gives you a little nerve flossing for our neck. And so if you'd like, as we practice this gentle heart opener, imagine the sun at your heart center. And on your inhales, as you extend your arms up and away, imagine the radiant light of the sun radiating out all around you. And then gather that light and bring it back inside. So as this symbol of the light that's always inside us. Inhale, and this time on your exhale, making a humming sound. Inhale. And so you might notice that the humming sound lengthens our exhale. Bumblebee breath. Place one hand on your belly, the other on your chest, your heart center. And notice the rise and fall of your chest and your belly. Oh, and a little shake out again. Wiggly pigeons, woohoo. Be creative. Huh. So, all right. So from here, I'd like to come into a twist. So just a lot of talk about the weather these days, so I can't help myself. Have to mention that I thought it was going to be bright and sunny and warm today. And it's still a little bit nippy, so I still have 3 layers of clothes on, which I think I'm going to keep for the entire class. But that said, know that because this, well, at any time, it's not necessary to have fancy yoga clothes. As long as you're comfortable, that is the idea. And so sometimes I do my yoga practice in my jeans, in my PJs when it's first thing in the morning. So whatever feels comfortable for you, that you can move more freely in. And so repose. Make sure your feet are placed evenly on the floor, on your footrest. Sits bones sharp on the chair. Lengthen your spine so we can create space between our vertebrae. Shoulders back and down, chin in, slightly level with the floor. So from here, let's come into a side bend. So I'd like to invite you to take hold of the underside of the chair, wherever you can reach comfortably for stability. Release your opposite arm by your side. Turn your palm face up with a soft bend in your elbow and take your hand to your shoulder. So today I'll give you two options. So it might be hand on your shoulder, or if it feels better to keep your hand at your hip, go for it. So today I'm going to keep my hand on my shoulder. So we're going to inhale, lengthen the spine. On the exhale, come into your side bend, keeping both sits bones on the chair. If it feels okay for your neck, turn your gaze down towards the floor to release your neck and breathe into your rib cage. Can you imagine breathing in below your rib cage? And then it's ready. Come out of the pose on this side. And so whatever we do on one side, we do on the other if possible. So sitting up nice and tall, take hold of the underside of your chair. Release your opposite arm by your side. Spiral your palm open. Take your hand to your shoulder or to your hip. Lengthen and then come into your side bend. Turn your gaze down towards the floor to release your neck and breathe into your rib cage. And come out of the pose. Nice. And shake out, take a moment, notice how you feel. So I'll do my jacket up. Okay. So from here, let's come into a gentle twist. And so I'd like to invite you to bring your hands to your heart center, lift your elbows. If you can, if it's possible to bring your feet a little wider than the outer hip bone distance, go for it. Keeping your knees tracking over your ankles, toes turned out a little, okay. Lengthen your spine, and then an invitation to bring your elbow point down to your thigh. If your elbow point doesn't reach your thigh, if you have something that can bring your thigh to you, go for it. So it might be a block or book. And then reach your opposite elbow up towards the sky, towards the ceiling. And then turn your gaze up, looking past your elbow if that feels okay for your neck. And then slowly come out of the pose on this side. And we'll come into it on the other side. So hands at the heart, lengthen your spine, and then bring your elbow point down to your thigh or onto a block or whatever you need to. Reach your opposite elbow up towards the ceiling, and then turn your gaze looking up past your elbow point if that feels okay for your neck. Really press into the palms of your hands. Give your wrists a little stretch. And then it's ready. Come on back to a neutral spine. And release. Wow. So feel your work. And so now I'm going to teach one more version of a seated twist. So we're going to rock and roll here. So reach up to the sky and then twist. So hand might come outside of your knee or thigh, your other hand beside you on the chair. So we are not torquing, we're not pulling ourselves into the twist. We're allowing it to happen. So flowing with your breath, reach up, expand, twist, inhale, reach up, and twist. And so we want to make sure that we go into our twist on an exhale, otherwise we are wasting our time. Reach up to the sky and twist. And so reaching up, and this time we'll come out of the movement. Just let your arms float down by your side. I have a neighbor saying hello, poking his head in. Okay. So these side bends, twists are pretty intense spinal movements. So we really do need to realign our spine. And so we can do that with a seated forward fold. That said, a deep version of a seated forward bend is contraindicated for folks who have osteopenia, osteoarthritis. You might have something else going on with your spine that you know going into a deeper version of a forward fold is contraindicated. So yoga has a unique philosophy, and the first principle is do no harm. So body, mind, spirit. And so osteopenia, osteoarthritis, you know who you are. I'm going to begin by sharing a forward fold that I trust works for most folks. Alternatively, it might be that you visualize the movement. So visualization is powerful. So taking hold of the underside of your chair, bring your feet a little wider than outer hip bone distance to create some space for your yoga belly. Inhale, lengthen your spine, and then hinging from the hips, come forward with a flat back. Tuck your chin in slightly to relieve the back of your neck, or you might yet nod yes and no. Breathe into your lower back. You might imagine that your lungs are in your lower back. And notice how you feel in the forward fold. So forward folds, you come into them in a way that is comfortable for each of us. Forward bends typically are calming for our nervous system. And so it's ready. Come out of the pose by pushing down through your inner heels. So it might be an energetic pushing down. Place your hands at your hips if you want. You can make soft fists. And then come back up with a flat back. Okay, a little shake up. So from here, I'd like to share a practice with you called Breath of Joy. And so Breath of Joy is a little bit fun. And so the way it's practiced is we sniff, inhale through our nose or nostrils 3 times, and then the exhale. And so the exhale tends to happen naturally. It's a pretty big exhale. And so if we want, we can add arm movements to the breath. And so before we begin, I'd like to show you where we're going with the arm movements. First of all, make sure there's no one nearby that you can whack with your arms, or a hard surface. Either way, it's not going to feel good, especially the hard surface. Friend might be a little more forgivable, but anyway, so the arms are going to come forward, out to the side, and then forward again, and then drop on the exhale. So 3 inhales through the nose, unless you're congested or you have an obstruction, and then the exhale. So it's 3 to 1. Okay. So here we go. Breath of joy. Inhale, 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 and drop. 2 more rounds. Breath of joy. Inhale, 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 and drop. Inhale, 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 and drop. Okay. And so when you're ready, bring your hands in front of you apart. So you could close your eyes softly here if it feels comfortable for you, or soften your gaze.
Sorry.
It's okay, love. I'm done in 5 minutes. Okay. Do you need the space?
In 5.
Okay. So I am at the senior center. We're sharing the space. And so hands just a little bit apart. Eyes are closed softly, or soften your gaze. And an invitation to notice any subtle sensations between your hands. And then maybe moving your hands apart a little more.
Yeah, we have to wash them.
And then moving them closer together. So moving hands away, a little further, 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 and then closer together. And if you'd like, turn your palms face up, reach up to the sky. It's a gentle back arch, maybe feeling a lightness. And then palms face down as we bow our head towards our heart. A grounding sensation. So with one arm resting on your lap or wherever feels comfortable for you, extend your opposite arm out to the side. Spiral your palm open. If it feels okay for your neck, gazing past your middle finger, reach up to the sky. Palm face down, release. So we can think of these gentle movements as a moving meditation. Other side, extend your arm out to the side, spiral your palm open. Soft bend in your elbow, nothing rigid, reach up to the sky. Palm face down, release. So both arms by your side, turn your palms face up. Take your hands to your heart center, palms open or together. Reach up to the sky, gentle back arch. Hinging from the hips, come into a forward fold. So it might be soft fist at your hips, maybe taking hold of the underside of the chair, chin in. Then pushing down through your inner heels. So an energetic pushing down if you like. Place one hand on each knee or thigh. Come on back up. So arms by your sides, spiral your palms open. Open up your armpits. Take your hands to your heart center. Reach up to the sky, gentle back arch. And this time, maybe our hands come together in prayer down through to the heart. So I'll place one hand on your Buddha belly, the area between your navel and your pubic bone. One hand on your chest, your heart center. And take a moment to feel the rise and fall of your chest and your belly. And so we're going to come down off the mountain, come seated back in your chair comfortably for your final relaxation. And so the dessert part. And so this is meant to be a deep, conscious relaxation. We're not meant to fall asleep. So lift your shoulders up, back and down. So this is not a big scrunch up towards our ears. We are allowing our shoulders to soften away from our ears. Rest your arms on your lap, palms face up or down as desired. So eyes closed softly, or soften your gaze. And so soft palms, soft Buddha belly, quiet breath. Allow your breath to reflect the pose, serenity pose. Relax your jaw. So if you want to take your hands and touch these areas that I'm doing gently, feel free. So soft jaw. Allow your teeth to be apart a little. Soften your lower jaw. Soften around your temples. Soften the area between your eyebrows. Wide forehead. And silently, if you'd like, on inhale, say let. On exhale, go. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. So without changing anything, bring your awareness back to your breath. Thank your body again. And so our bodies are the best home our mind will ever have. And now see if you can begin to deepen your inhale, lengthen your exhale. Wiggle your fingers and toes, hands and feet, waking up. Rub the tips of your fingers with your thumbs and come on up. Seated comfortably to finish your yoga practice. So thank you, everyone. Notice how you feel before and after your yoga practice. Questions or feedback, we'll have to save for another time. Know that you can connect with me however you'd like. Love to hear from you. My information, I do have a website and all that jazz, but we can talk about that some other time. So in the meantime, the teacher in me appreciates the teacher in each of you. And thank you, Kasar, Connector, and the Disability Foundation for providing this opportunity for us to share yoga practice, India's gift to the world. Thank you. And so, IO.
Okay, very good. See you next week then.
Yeah, okay, love. So
Okay.
that works, Kasar. We're just a couple minutes early.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, love.
everybody.
Sure. All right. I'll see you next week.